Hi, today I'm going to do a smouldering look using smoky greys and navies. I have a beautiful model today. Her name's Ellie, and I actually found her on Twitter because about a month ago she started following me and I was on my laptop at the time and it sort of popped up on the screen. And I clicked on the link and looked at her profile and I saw that she's been really ill recently and that she also loves makeup. So I thought it'd be really fun to invite her here to have her makeup done. So please show her a lot of love and I hope you enjoy the look. So I'm going to start by using the Bioderma, and this is the rich cream they do for dehydrated or dry skin, because your skin's a little bit dry at the moment, isn't it, Ellie? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to rub that in all over. So for base, I'm going to use this Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour, it's called actually, foundation. And this is a great one if you're going to be photographed because it doesn't have any SPF. It's a medium coverage. You can either thin it out if you don't need a lot of base, like Ellie doesn't, or you can build it up in areas where you need a bit more coverage. And for a long-lasting foundation, although they often tend to be very matte and very sort of flat looking, this one sets, but it doesn't, it's still, the skin still looks alive, which is I really, really like. Okay, so next I'm going to use some highlighter, and this is the Revlon Photo Ready. And I'm going to just really blend this in on the top of your cheekbones, Ellie. This is really sheer and beautiful, so it's a really good time now to apply it while your foundation's on and before you've done your concealing as well. So I'm just concealing underneath Ellie's eyes a little bit. Now, where you use the concealer obviously depends on your skin. If you have blemishes, red patches, then you'll be using it in lots more areas. And then I'm just covering a tiny bit of redness using the same concealer. And again, blending really well. Before I start doing any eyeshadow, I'm going to use some of the Primer Potion by Urban Decay and just put a thin layer all over Ellie's lids and just really smooth that in. So I'm going to do a smoky eye, and I'm going to use this palette by Kiko because I think it's a really good selection of shades and I love the quality of their eyeshadows. I think they're really great quality. But there are lots of really nice smoky palettes available. These two are really nice as well. This one by Rimmel, which has this great gold in the centre, and then a really classic grey smoky eye palette by L'Oreal. So I'm going to start by using this sort of lilac-y, minky grey colour, which is actually reminding me of my cat, Betty. Don't you think? Similar colour to her. So I'm just going to buff this colour all over Ellie's lids. When you're doing smoky eyes, it's actually better to do the eyes before you do your base. I thought that was a bit mean to make Ellie sit here with no foundation on. So I'm just going to hold a tissue to catch any loose bits. So just buffing and blending that lilac-y grey shade all over, up to the socket line. So next I'm going to mix together the black and the lilac-y colour to make something a bit more smoky. And then just start to smoke up those edges. Next I'm going to use a smoky pencil. Just close your eyes for me. And just really work this all along roots of the lashes. And then I'm going to use the smudger from the other side. This is Le Smokey by L'Oreal. Just really buff that in. And then using a brush, just open for me, I'm just going to really smudge this in. And close again. And just working the pencil into the roots of the lashes. If you've got blonde lashes, you'll tend to need to really work it in a lot. And then just building up again once you've smoked it out. You do a couple of layers of this so it gets nice and smoky. So now I'm going to go back in with the eyeshadows. And this is the black with the navy blue. And using a bigger brush as well. Just buff all over. So when you're doing a smoky eye like this, you want some texture in there and some, almost it to be three-dimensional, so you need it to be well blended, but some areas a little bit lighter, so I suggest it's lighter at the inner corner with a little bit more intensity at the outer edge there. And then I think that navy blue along the lash line there looks really quite nice. So I'm just putting on a little bit of the navy mixed with the greyish sort of smoky lavender colour just underneath here. So I'm just going to curl eyelashes and then using black mascara, plenty of black mascara. So I'm going to put some fake eyelashes on. These are quite nice light ones. They're Ardell Natural, they're called. And obviously it's optional, you don't need to wear eyelashes, but you quite like wearing eyelashes, don't you, Ellie? Would you put them on for a special occasion like a prom or something?
Definitely.
So I'm just going to hold them right down to the roots of the lashes. And the thing with lashes is you get a lot more time than you think, so you don't need to panic. If you pop the glue on, let the glue dry for at least 30 seconds before you even attempt to put them on. And then you've got at least another 30 seconds to a minute to move them around, work them down if you need to, and then they can start to dry there. So now I'm just using, this is a MAC liquid liner, just to really blend in the roots of the lashes and get rid of the glue. And then at the outer edge, just before we get to the edge, just going to wing up. And then apply some mascara just to the lower lashes all the way along. So I'm just going to do brows, and did you say this one's still a little bit thinner than this one? So should we make this one a little bit fuller? So I'm going to use this Suki pen and just draw on some extra lashes. Oh, extra eyebrows, I mean. Get confused. Just do some really fine brows there at the inner corner as well. And I'm just going to dust through with a slightly greyer, ashier powder, because that pen was a little bit brown, I think. Although we want them quite strong and they're really framing your eyes, I think with your hair colour we just need to go a little bit ashier. So before I do blusher, I'm going to put a little bit of contour just to define. And this obviously needs to be done with great care. If you just think where your cheekbones are and go slightly underneath, but add it slowly. You don't want to end up with two stripes. But obviously in photographs, a little bit of contouring always looks really, really nice. For blusher, I'm going to use this Rimmel shade, which is rose pink, and just a really pretty soft rose colour. So I'm going on top of the contour and coming up more onto the actual cheek with this. So starting really just around the side there, and then blending up towards the eyes, but really, really soft. We don't want any harsh edges there. Okay, for lips, I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown lip pencil in Ballet Pink. But if you go all over with lip pencil first before you use lipstick or gloss, it's a really good stain. It'll help your colour to last all night. And then on top of that, I'm going to use this Burt's Bees lip gloss, and this is the colour that Ellie chose, and I think it's really pretty. It's kind of a peachy pinky shade with a little bit of gold pearl. I think it's going to look lovely on you. And then as a final touch, I put a little bit of powder, and really just be guided by how much powder you need. Everyone is different. If you're very oily, you will need a layer, fine layer all over. Some people just need a little bit on the T-zone, but if you're very, very dry, you mightn't need any powder at all. So also depends on the kind of foundation you've used. Some naturally have more of a matte finish. So for you, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit on your T-zone. And that is the finished look, my dear. What do you think? Do you like it?
I love it.
Oh, good. I'm very pleased.